Hello, everyone, and welcome to
WEEZCAST.
I am your host, Aiden Morden, with co-host
Caleb Chassis.
and co-host
Stephen Prendler.
and our special guest.
Kevin Sitashi.
Today we are going to be listening to Van Weezer on vinyl and giving our thoughts. So we will be right back with those. All right, we are back from listening to Van Weezer on vinyl. And I think it would be appropriate if we let our guest start with his thoughts of Hero.
My thoughts on Hero. Well, now that we're here, I've kind of forgot most how the songs go, but based on what I wrote down, I think the intro was amazing, especially since it's intro to the whole album. It's very drawing, makes you want to listen to more. So I think that was perfect. And then the chorus was amazing. 10 out of 10 chorus. The chord progression, the instruments, everything about the chorus is just amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was also giving kind of a coming of age movie from the 2000s kind of vibe. That's what I was getting from that song, and not even just that song. Pretty much most of the songs in the album, they remind me of old 2000s movies with teenagers in them, which is, I used to love those movies when I was young, so
it's almost like nostalgic.
Yeah, bringing me back to when I was 12 years old watching those kind of movies. So yeah, that song reminded me of that. So yeah, and the great chorus, great introduction. The verses wasn't really drawn too much, and also the verses weren't really drawing, and I wasn't really getting the theme of the lyrics in the verses. But overall, I was getting the point of the hero, song title and everything else, but where he was going, couldn't really get it. But overall, solid track.
You liked it?
Yeah,
Good,
fun.
good.
It's really fun.
It is.
And you need a fun song to introduce an album, and it did a great job of doing that. So
I agree.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Stephen, what do you think?
Yeah, I wrote very similar to what you said. It sets the tone for the album right off the bat. It's okay, it's just really upbeat, very 80s rock. And it's a great song. It's really fun and upbeat. And it does really let you know kind of what you're in for with the rest of the album. So it's a great first song. First time I heard it was when you gave me the album on CD. And I had it in my car the next day. I popped it in after work. And I just drove home listening to that with the windows down. It was great.
Was it summer?
Yeah.
It's a perfect summer album.
It was, yeah.
It is
100%.
It was wow, this just great vibes.
pretty good starter, I think, overall with the album and the song. And great guitar lead. Love the guitar lead, and I love the harmonics and everything about it. Just a great opener.
Cool. So it's interesting that you guys were more talking about the music, other than what you were saying, Kevin, about the lyrics. I do find with what you're saying about the lyrics and the verses not making sense, verse 2 is kind of more like that, in regards to it doesn't seem to tie in other than he's singing about superhero stuff, but it doesn't actually apply to what he's singing about in the song. So verse 1, it starts out with this childlike hope of being a hero, when you're watching those movies when you're a kid and wanting to be that way, and then being slapped in the face with the harsh reality that that's not how life is. So more than anything, I really think it's a song about growing up. But the one thing I do really like with verse 2 is how the drums are super steady, and then the guitars are really abrupt, and it's driving what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds really cool, but I feel lyrically it could have been better and could have matched the first verse, but still all around fantastic song.
Yeah. Especially when you mention life being about when you describe verse 2, and I had said that I was kind of confused with the verses. It kind of makes sense now why I was confused, because it's a happy get go dance type song.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's
it's got real life themes in it.
yeah.
You wouldn't expect from that kind of song. So, but it's pretty good though.
It is.
Yeah.
Makes sense because all the good ones are gone.
Whoa,
What?
that was quite this. We do segues on WEEZCAST all the time, and Caleb just did a great one.
Yeah, and then we always interrupt to comment on the.
Yeah, we
segue.
got to comment on the segue. So,
Yeah.
Caleb, what were you saying
It's
about
always
all the
the
good
point
ones?
of the
Please
segue.
go ahead.
Great guitar start. Love the riff in the last chorus, and I like the vibe of the song. Lyrics are fun, and overall, just another great second starter, I guess I'd say.
To keep it rolling.
Yeah, I mean,
Ironically, this is not one of the good ones.
What the heck?
Nah.
I mean, it's not terrible, but like, the song just doesn't make sense. He's saying all the good ones are gone, but all of the verses are about this good one who's not gone.
Yeah, he's saying he thought all of the good ones were gone, but now he's
He says
clearly-
that once.
no, he doesn't.
Every other time he says all the good ones.
No,
are
he doesn't.
gone.
He says,
Yeah, you look it up, bro.
The
in the
lyrics
last
are wrong.
chorus-
Some of the lyrics are wrong on Google when you
Yeah.
type them. Some of the
I
websites.
can hear it.
Please continue. I shouldn't
If
interrupt.
you're listening
I'm just very upset
or
by your
watching,
opinion.
just look it up. Listen to it yourself. The song just doesn't make sense. Also, the intro is great, but when he starts singing, it's like really disappointing because the intro like builds it up and it's like, oh, this is gonna be another great fun song, and then he starts singing and it's not good. It gets better, but then it's like, meh, it killed the hype right off the bat. And then I really like the part where he checks his pulse to make sure he's not dead. Then he goes, "Oh yeah," it's really fun.
Kevin, what'd you think?
I thought this song was a 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank
I
you.
literally just wrote 10 out of 10 song.
That's what I like
Chorus
to
is
hear.
amazing. Another great intro to the song, and that's another thing. Like within like this whole album, I feel like the way they introduce the songs is like there wasn't a single song that had a bad intro to it, and this one probably had the best out of all of them. So and just that intro and the chorus just made the whole thing perfect. I didn't really like pay attention to the lyrics that much because I was just like interested in like the guitar groove.
You were
the drums.
experiencing the song.
I was experiencing.
It is a good song to
I felt like I
experience.
was in a concert listening to that one. Yeah, it was really great.
I'm really happy that you feel that way because this is not only one of the best songs on this album, it is one of my absolute favorite Weezer songs out of all like several hundred that they have.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this song. It is so good. And I think actually I've just between when you said it and now when I thought it have maybe an explanation of why it is that way, why he doesn't say I thought all of the good ones were gone except for the first time. But I'll get there. So this song is a fun summer vibe, classic Weezer, about love at first sight. Because like he says something in one of the lines about not even knowing her name, but he feels like he's in love with her. And it's just like I can relate to it in the way that it's like, and I'm sure maybe you guys can, where it's like you see this girl in public and it's like, wow, she's so beautiful. And I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna marry that girl one day.
Oh, yeah.
And you never even met her before. But I was talking about like the book that she had and how it was interesting. It's like he's not just intrigued by the way she looks, but the way that she presents herself. Mm-hmm. And then like I don't know how he knows she plays guitar. 'cause
Well,
he's
they had a
talking-
conversation, obviously.
No, he said her something books are
Richie books.
are conversation starters.
Yeah.
So he's like saying that could be a way to start a conversation. I don't think he actually conversed with her.
Then how would he know she plays guitar?
He's maybe assuming because that's the whole thing. One of the things that Rivers does classically is fantasize. He's
yeah.
fantasizing about this girl and about
That just
having
made
like
the song worse.
having a life with her.
It's
So anyway,
even worse
so
now.
but the reason why
How?
maybe one of the reasons
Because
why
now
he
it's
says
creepy.
he sees her and he thinks I thought all the good ones are gone, but then he's kind of realizing that all the good ones are gone and he's not even actually going to talk to her and it's not like they're actually going to be together. I don't know. It's just a theory. A song
No, that's
theory.
actually. Welcome.
It's actually what?
I was gonna say that's actually what I was thinking when you. Yeah. Never mind.
As far as what Steven said about
Yeah.
that line.
Wait,
Cool.
which line? What
I
did he say?
thought-
Oh, that because he only says I thought
Oh.
the first time. But
What about it?
it is the end of that song, but now it is the end of the game.
Wow.
I think that one should be awarded one of our worst segues ever.
I was about to say that.
The end of that song. Now it's the end of the game.
I really want to
2
hear.
out of 10 segue. 2 out of 10.
That's rough, but a great song.
Great, amazing, perfect song.
Tell
I
me
don't know
about
what
it.
Steven is talking about. Don't listen to this guy. Guys.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
about
he
the
hasn't
song.
said anything about this song yet. Not about this. You might rip on it after, but you go ahead, Kevin.
The end of the game. 10 out of 10 bass line. Amazing instrumentals and more Y2K vibes. That's really all it is. Again, like when I listen to music, like usually I don't pay attention to the lyrics the first time. I'm more interested in how like they composed the instruments together.
That's how I always
Yeah.
do too.
That's when we went through this whole album. That's pretty much how I listen to it. So I'm not gonna be like talking about the lyrics much.
That's okay.
So yeah, but like I said with this one, great instrument work. 10 out of 10. The best bass line. More coming of age Y2K vibes.
Cool. Now, Caleb, do you think that Steven's gonna rip on this song, or do you think he likes it?
I don't think he likes it.
Really? I think that he likes it, but I don't think he loves it. Steven, confirm or deny our suspicions.
I do really like the song.
Oh.
I've always liked it. It's another one that sounds really happy, but the lyrics are pretty sad. In the first verse, he references Island in the Sun and Aslan from Narnia. So right away, it's like, oh, cool.
I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of neat.
And yeah, and then it's just a fun song. It's good. I don't know. There's like nothing really that stands out good or bad. It's just like, it's a song and it's good. It's enjoyable. I could listen to it again.
It's just a song you put on in a car. Just
Yeah.
like go to the store.
It's just there. It's good.
It doesn't take away from the album at all.
Nope.
It's like it's a good progression.
It's a good, yeah. It's like it's definitely better than the previous one, and yeah, it's like okay. The second one was meh, but this one's
Well-
really good again. So it's like after the first one, you're like, this is gonna be a really good album. The second one's like, okay, maybe not as good as I expected, and then the third one, you're like, okay, maybe it will be as good as I expected.
Caleb?
As soon as we start, we get this great riff, fantastic, and then like the guitar strumming right after, and this entire song built on the guitar. It's fantastic, and the drums are great, and just everything about it musically, and yeah, love it.
Cool. I mostly had the reference stuff that Steven already mentioned, the island in the sun, because he says, "No sign of you when I wake up. I'm on an island with no sun." I
I've
like that.
noticed that.
I like that he references that, especially since it's been so long since
It's like
that
that
album.
picture of is it DiCaprio? Or it's like
Oh yeah, where he's like looking at the TV.
it's like yo, he said Island in the Sun. That's so crazy.
Other than that, like really, it's just it's a little bit generic lyrically. It's a fun summer relationship song again. The tone of the guitar is so chunky. I love it. I love the way the electric guitar
Like,
sounds.
say chunky,
Like it's just like it's got a chunky tone.
the way you say chunky was so chunky.
I know, but it was. It's just like it's just so like it's got that aggression to it. It's aggressive, and I feel like there's so much to it, but it's really tightly played.
Yeah.
And it just sounds so good, especially like you were saying too with the bass line. It sounds really great lyrically. It's kind of generic, but it's a great song overall. And you know what's an even better song?
Not the next one.
Oh my gosh, Steven, you start. I'm gonna be not happy.
Okay, the song, it feels so familiar. And you can tell, like, by the lyrics and the music and everything that it's designed to be nostalgic. And it does feel that way. It's like, hey, this song feels like I've heard it before. And I don't know, maybe they sample another song in it. I haven't been able to find anything like that, but if anyone does find it, let me know.
In the comments below.
Yeah.
Get to
DM
it.
me.
Get to it.
But in any case, it feels like a really familiar tune. Like they go with a really generic chord progression maybe. And the lyrics are just about like being a kid and listening to Aerosmith and all the stuff you do as a kid. And it's like, okay. So it's like a big nostalgia trip. It's not a bad song. It's just like, I don't know. There's not really much to it.
Caleb, please hold me
nostalgia,
back.
You know?
Hold me back.
It's like every song on this album is good. It's just some of them are just not as good. You know, they don't really stand out. And this one's like, yeah, it's okay.
It hurts me. Your opinion hurts me. Kevin?
That's wild, yo. Because I thought this was the best song on the album. Well, up until I heard.
Wait.
I'm not
Don't
gonna
spoil it.
but
Don't spoil it.
up
I'm
until
excited
I
to find
heard-
out. Because I Need Some of That is actually another
But-
one of my absolute favorites, and I
but
like
other
it
than-
more than all the good ones.
I Need Some of That was the second best.
Okay.
This song is a 10 out of 10. Like, vibes is immaculate. Everything about it was great. Let me see what I wrote for it. But I really love this song. I was even like, I don't know if you guys heard me, but I was like singing along to the chorus. And then when they started playing it again, like at the when he plays again at the end.
Where it kind of calms down.
No, like at the very end of the.
After the vinyl.
Oh, at the end of the album.
Yeah, at the end of the
hidden
album.
track, okay.
Like I was just like, the song came back. I'm like, these guys must have thought this was also the best song on the album, so they put it on the album 2 times. But yeah, it was great. It was great. Like, best song, amazing intro, and for some reason, like it just reminded me of like my friends and like everybody who like I hold dearly to my heart. It just reminded me of that. Even though like the lyrics don't match anything, don't have anything to do with that, but I feel like the way, again, the song is designed, like progression wise, it sounds like, you know, like something that you play with friends around, or like around your family and stuff like that. So that's why it's the best song.
Yep. It's like one you put on at the beach.
Exactly. I need some of that.
Caleb?
Um.
Wait, actually, Kevin, thank you, because that healed me of what Steven said.
Do you need some of that more?
Welcome to
yeah,
WEEZCAST.
here, reinforce this, Caleb. I need to hear
All
it.
right.
Also known as the Pick on Steven show.
Exactly.
Okay, I will say I like the melody. Solo's pretty good. First verse I really like, and yeah, I think that this is. I wouldn't say it's my favorite song, but it's definitely up there. Because I have another favorite song on this album.
I think I know what it is.
Of course, you
We'll
know
get
what
to it,
is.
right? We'll get to it.
But let's
It
just
is
say.
better than this song.
Okay, well that's fair. I like this song for how calm and fun it is, but like it's not too upbeat or anything. So that's what's really nice about it.
Cool. Honestly, you guys summed it up pretty well. Well, 2 of you did. I'm sorry, Steven. I value your opinion because I
Hey,
do.
at least we're not telling you that you're.
The best part of WEEZCAST
Yes, you
is
are.
me and Steven
No, we're
disagreeing,
not.
I think.
That's what you need. You need 2 different.
Exactly,
opinions.
because if it was just all of us like, Weezer's so good.
It's
I
so
love
good.
this
Oh my
song.
God.
It'd be boring.
Man,
It'd be
You
boring.
need to have one person who disagrees.
Exactly. And it's like, it's like if you watched a drama where nothing happened.
yeah.
Like if you watch a soap opera and it's like
You're
everything's
saying
fine.
I'm the antagonist of the show.
No, maybe we're the antagonists. I don't know. Tell us what you think down below. Show some love for Steven because
Take one for the team.
it wouldn't be WEEZCAST without him. I just have written fun summer olden day song. The reminiscent lyrics are really well written and creates a great visual. The part where it goes to the chorus again and it's really light drums and really light electric guitar and the vocals, the back and forth vocals. It just releases it just releases the happy chemicals in my brain.
What was that one? That one word you said in Young Adults about you. when you were-
Unhinged.
That's how that meant. That's how it makes you feel.
This song makes me feel unhinged.
Unhinged.
Oh,
I'm on the edge.
Does it make your brain go happy?
it does. And what I'm gonna say, I'll start us off for the beginning of the end. I have to admit, as much as I like the end of the game and the beginning of the end, and I don't know if it's just because they both have end in the title and because they both have generic things to them, but I actually get these songs confused in my brain sometimes. Like, I'll think the end of the game is the beginning of the end and vice versa, but I still think it's a great song. I do think it's great. I just get confused because I'm a little, I don't know. But
Very different.
what I will say, it's not a great song if you're driving in your car and it's on shuffle and you have it really loud, because you might think you're about to be pulled over because it starts with sirens. It's catchy, and I really love how pitchy the intro is. It's got like this high pitchedness to it that's really nice.
Pitchedness.
Yep, high pitchedness. But lyrically, other than singing about going on stage, I don't really get the song. The ending of the bridge reminds me of Bohemian Rhapsody a little bit. There's like a quick Queen vibe in there, which is all right.
I can see that.
But we'll carry on this way.
Carry on, carry on. I thought you were doing that on purpose.
Anyways, one of my favorites. It's my favorite song on the album. Overall,
Thought so.
I love how it starts. It's all soft with the guitar and the vocals, and it's just very warming. And then it pumps up into me.
I think you might be confused with a different song.
I know, I'm joking.
I know.
Love the lyrics. Love the solo especially. And when it dies down and picks up and it's soft playing again. I don't know. I just think I love this song. That's all I can say. One of my favorites out of
Out of every Weezer song.
It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's just really good.
I agree with Caleb on this one. This song really stands out in a good way. Although, I think this is the only song on the album that the intro sucks because it's sirens. And it's really
Okay,
annoying.
I will give you that. I will give you that.
I don't know why they do that, but then after the sirens, then the rest of it's good. I'll just look at what I wrote because I do not remember.
Makes sense, actually. It's not a
They
bad
should have
idea.
had like people screaming in the background because it is the beginning of the end.
Yeah, the build-up is phenomenal. Like, it starts out really slow, but you can feel that it's building. Even though he's not, like, getting louder or going faster, it's just, like, you feel that tension there as he starts. And then he finishes the first verse, and then the drums just go boom, and then... And it's like, oh my gosh, this is such a fun song. And it's very melodic, like Queen. So...
Cool.
Yeah.
The solo does sound like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Great solo, great instrumental.
I like it.
Yeah.
Kevin?
Well, for this one, I actually thought the name fitted with the second half, because I feel like that was the second half of the album, and it was kind of like, okay, we're switching from all the happy go type songs, and that song, because like the way you started, it sounded like well, obviously there's the sirens, and then the intro, it was like really super chill, and then out of nowhere it turns into like a super grungy type song. So I feel that the intro up until it turns into the grunge, it was like the turnaround, and then from there I felt like the album just had a whole switch when the grunge came in, and it sounded more like that song reminds me of like Nirvana songs, and I don't want to say that's the biggest thing that I took away from that song, but it probably is. It sounded like Nirvana, and that switch was just amazing to say to think of, like the name of the song, the positioning in the album, and yeah, just everything else about it was just great. But
That's kind of
overall,
cool.
it was a crazy
Because I never actually like realized that before, but you're kind of absolutely right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I even looked. I was like, okay, this is like song number 5 for
Well, yeah, it's the last song on side A, so it's a perfect
yeah
end of that side.
that side, yeah.
Huh. And actually, it's kind of, I wouldn't have gotten the Nirvana vibes from it. I gotta like re-listen to it with that in mind, but it is kind of cool that a lot of the different songs, like the album's called Van Weezer, and is obviously like, it's not just a kind of tribute to Van Halen or inspired by them. It's like other bands that Rivers really likes,
well, yeah.
and he really likes Nirvana.
Yeah.
That was one of the bands that really inspired him. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's like Nirvana influence there.
For sure.
And I can definitely say with our next song, Blue Dream, that he may have taken some inspiration from Ozzy Osbourne, since it's literally Crazy Train. And I will be hated for this by many, but this song takes the best part of Crazy Train and then makes it better because it's Weezer and not Ozzy Osbourne. Not that I dislike Ozzy Osbourne, but Weezer's just the absolute best. And yeah, so like it's really nice to hear that familiar riff. Like it's just kind of like it almost throws you off at first. Because it's like, what? Are they just doing a cover of Crazy Train? But my only complaint with it is that every line in the verses is sung the exact same way. Like, he does the same do-do-do-do-do. Like, he just does that every single line, and it's kind of annoying. Only thing I don't like about the song, really. But the chorus is one of Weezer's finest ever. I think the chorus is so well put together, and I love the lyrics. I love the music, which is, it's kind of weird that the lyrics don't really associate in the verses and the chorus, because the chorus is like, sad realization, she's not interested. Ouch. Who can relate? Woo! Anyway, so so like the verses though, he's singing about like the octopus saluting him like 8 times because he's got 8 limbs or whatever, and it's just like, I don't know. He's saying he's at home in this blue dream, and obviously blue because sad, not blue like jazz. Whoa. Anyway, Weezer reference. But anyway, so I don't know. It's like the verses don't make sense, and I don't like the way he sings them, but the chorus well more than makes up for it because it's so darn good and so catchy, and then the solo too. It just shreds. Caleb?
All right, so it's funny that you brought up blue like jazz because I found something similar in here. It's subtle and doesn't really matter, but I found something similar in Blue Dream and Blue like jazz, and it's the pitch harmonics at the beginning, like that feedback. It's like very similar how it starts off. If you listen to it again, you'll realize. It's very outgoing comparing to the other songs like we covered, and it's just like, you know, all over the place for the verses, like, you know, so much is happening. Drums are great and complex, and something I noticed on vinyl that I've never noticed listening to the song before is how much like the hi-hat with the drumsticks is like rumbling so much. Like I never heard that, and the solo's pretty good.
Pretty good. Cool. Steven?
I was kind of confused that you didn't get the lyrics, or like they didn't make sense to you, because it seemed really obvious to me that he's basically gone crazy because he found out this girl didn't want him, and so he's fantasizing that he lives in the ocean in a blue dream where he's with the fishes and the octopus.
So it's blue from the ocean, not blue because he's sad.
Yeah.
Or maybe
but
both.
It's both. Yeah, because he says I jumped off the deep end, like into a pool or into the ocean, but also like off the deep end crazy. So he's like losing his mind over this girl and like just pretending that he's a fish. Or you could take it more literally and say he actually jumped off a cliff and killed himself because of it.
Unlikely.
Unlikely, because it's a blue dream, not a blue reality. Plus he says, what I have to lose, I've been through this before. So
that makes me like the song even more, actually, now that it kind of associates better.
Yeah, like, to me the lyrics make sense, but it's still kind of weird, and I hate the verses. Like, I used to think they were fine, but now it's like, it's really annoying. The way that he sings it, not just the pitch is always the same, but he sings it in a really annoying voice.
He's out of line, but he's right.
I'm right. But the chorus is great.
Okay.
It is a great chorus, and it samples Crazy Train, which is also great. But it's like not really credit to Weezer, but it's it's still, you know, good. So
Ozzy wrote Crazy Train. Weezer perfected it.
Yep.
not really.
Kevin.
Shout out Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, just continuing from what I said earlier about the switch from grunge, that song kept that vibe going. One thing I didn't really like was the instrumentals, like you said, like the going up and down and up and down. I didn't really like that too much. Other than that, it's pretty. It's a song. You know, I'm not gonna say it's trash, but it wasn't crazy either. So it's a song.
It was regular train.
It's a song.
Regular train.
Yeah.
Same
It's
train.
a song, and the only for me, the only thing I liked about it is obviously its placement in the album, continuing the whole grunge theme that started with the previous song.
Sorry.
And yeah, it just fits into the overall album, but as a single song by itself, I wasn't really a fan of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It
I'd
takes a
actually-
lot to get used to
No, you can.
the style of it.
I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it's only either like if you're like a true grunge fan or a true Weezer fan, then you have some appreciation for this song,
Okay.
or like Ozzy Osbourne.
Now, I'd actually like for you to start one more hit as well, because although you haven't been focusing as much on the lyrics, like you were saying, I am curious to what you thought of this song just because of how really bizarre it is, some of the lyrics in it, if you caught them or if you have any comments on them.
How does it go again? Just like
I don't even want to say it, to be honest. Well, maybe I'll go first.
oh, like
can
even
start
just
it
like
if
the
you want.
instrumental, even just like because I wrote on here that it has excellent drums
Yes.
and it has again keeping up with the 90s grunge once again, but the drums 10 out of 10, best drums in the whole album.
But the real question is, if you had one more hit, would you be good?
Yes,
Is that all you have to say about it?
pretty much. Pretty
Dang.
much.
I have a lot to say about this one, so maybe I should actually go last.
You want me to go next?
Yes.
Okay. This song is like Rivers sat down with the band and said, "Guys, I have a great idea. Let's do another song about drugs. But this time, how do we make it sound as absolutely homosexual as possible? Like, explicitly. But at the same time, it's about drugs, so, you know." And that's how this song was created.
That's
Other
a
than
good
that-
explanation.
Other than that, it's great. It's like really upbeat, and the instrumentals crazy, like awesome.
Yeah.
But the lyrics are so freaking weird. It's like you can't really show your friends or your family.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
Yeah, just kind of enjoy it in the closet.
You just lay down in your bed, stare at the ceiling, and just listen to it.
Man, it's like
On a Friday night, while everybody else is out partying, you're just sitting in the crib, listening to Weezer.
oh, yeah.
Caleb?
It starts out like, yeah, because it goes new, and then like it has like an effect on it, so it sounds like it's distorted, so it sounds like something's happening.
Like
but
the
then
feedback.
yeah, but then it goes into the song and it starts hitting hard, and then it goes calm on the chorus, which is kind of disappointing because it's like all that great power that you had, you wasted it for the. Anyways, and then it transitions to the powerful guitar and everything again. So that was kind of nice how it like kind of made you forget about it and then tried to get you back into it again, which is appreciated. The instrumental reminds me, like with just the instrumental, reminds me a lot of Doom, and yeah.
Cool. I gotta say, this song is the one I wrote the most about, I think. I absolutely love this song.
Oh,
I think I gotta say, it's like... I feel like there's 3 songs on this album that are all tied for, like, the number 1 on the album. and this is one of them. It is a guilty pleasure song, obviously, because it's so weird, and like you were saying, it's like not one you just kind of like play at home. I have put it on at work and thought, I wonder if people will notice, because I don't want them to, but I want to enjoy the song loudly because it's so good. But it reminds me of Slayer, and it reminds me of Metallica. Like, I feel like there's definitely influence from both in there.
Except better.
Well, yeah, obviously, because it's Weezer. Obviously, like, the lyrics...
Not biased at all.
No. Me, never. Obviously, it's a song about drug addiction being an issue in society, which is something Weezer has visited before. Like...
Society?
Yeah.
He's
Like,
visited society.
huh? Weezer doesn't visit
We live in this society.
We truly do. But, because I think the purpose of the song isn't to be, like, gross, or to be, like, let's do drugs.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
I'm not worried about it! Okay, so, anyway, it's not like a song promoting drugs. Usually when Weezer does a song that is about drugs, it's not promoting them, except for half the time when it is. So it's confusing. But I think it depends on the drug. But anyway, this song is obviously trying to show the desperation of somebody who has a drug addiction. Mm-hmm. I think, like, that line specifically, I think it's just kind of an emphasis on how, like, messed up drug addiction is and what it does to people. So I think there's actually, like, good intent behind it. Like, I don't think that Rivers is like, hey, let's write some homosexual lines that are actually about drugs and not about gay stuff. I don't think that's the case. So really the message of the song's good. And he's acknowledging that it's not good for him. Even though it's, I think, from the perspective of somebody else, not him, because I don't think he's ever been like a crack addict or anything. But anyway, I really like the line as well, to feel deep down you matter to the world and not just to a boy or to a girl. I think that line, I don't really get how it kind of goes along with the overall theme of the song, but I do like the thought of thinking about, like, do I matter to the world? Like, am I contributing to the world? I guess that's maybe why it is, because it's like people who are drug addicts often aren't really contributing, and it's like maybe they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or something, and then they feel meaning from that, but it's like not enough. They're looking for meaning, and they're looking for it in the wrong places. So maybe it's even much deeper. But I like that. The guitar harmonies too, when he says pump it up, it's so beautiful, the harmonies. And the chorus bass line, nuts, bonkers, chunky, fat, thick, unhinged. Ooh, it's groovy. So it's really, really good. And then the key change after the solo, because the solo, it goes even more Slayer. Like, he just goes nuts. Like how it almost sounds like a horse screeching the guitar. That's really Slayerish. And it's really good, although better than Slayer, because I don't really like Slayer. But the key change, really good. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry that I took so long to talk about this song.
Okay, question.
Well, I think it was insightful, right?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
Can Sheila do it?
I think that Sheila can do it, and I don't see a problem with that.
If she can, then I can.
Tell us about it,
I
Steven.
don't see a problem with that.
Tell us about the absolute worst song on this album.
You
It's
missed
the
my fun.
second worst song, actually, on the album. It's got a fun tune. The lyrics are weird, so it's like, I don't know, if you just don't care about the lyrics, then listen to it and it's fine. It's a little bit too repetitive, and my favorite part is when he says, he calls her a pistachio. You seen it then, you seen it now, I swear you'd never know that who you was seeing was the same pistachio. Like, it's so random and weird.
It is.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say your favorite part was when the song ends.
That's what I was going to say my favorite part was. It just is.
Yeah, it's just pretty underwhelming. Like, not fantastic, not great. It's definitely the second worst song on the album.
I hate you.
I know what his first is, and I'm gonna beat him up after this.
It's the next one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
He hates
That's a
that
relief.
one.
No, I know, but I thought he was talking about a different one.
Oh.
Well, Caleb, give us your thoughts.
All right. I might lower this down a little bit in editing, but I hate this song. One of Weezer's worst songs ever created. Like, just the sound of it screeches. It's like I hate it. I'd probably rather listen to Death and Destruction, honestly.
Yeah, that is a better song.
I got a quick
It's
question.
not.
Yeah.
How much do you hate this song?
Me? I would rate it
Good question.
a 0, because honestly, like,
Wow.
no, I every time when I have listened to this song, I feel like throwing up because I hate it
It's that
How do you
bad.
hate it that much?
It is really
because
bad.
it's so
It's
bad.
really- it is
It's
really
like
bad.
it's like worse than Blue, and Blue has some good songs on it.
Wait, what?
You say never mind.
Okay, the sounding of Blue.
He was
Although
gonna
Blue is good,
Oh, like the production quality?
yeah, and Pinkerton, it sounds like
He's upset.
yeah.
Unhinged.
The only thing that is kind of catchy is the pre-chorus. That's it. But I would not suggest the song. Everything else is good. But that's what lowers my rating, is that dumb song.
I know, it's a darn shame, really, because it does bring the album's overall rating down, in my opinion.
I'm sure that they have some demos they could have switched this with.
Honestly, but Kevin, thoughts?
I thought it was just another song. Like, there was nothing crazy about it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I said.
and the ending was kind of like, I don't know, but the last like 10 seconds of that song were like one of the most beautiful pieces of music I've ever heard for some reason. I don't know why. but
Really?
Wow.
I don't know. It's just the way they harmonize at the end, and it's just like the way it ends. Not saying like I like the song when it ends, but I'm like literally the ending of that song was so beautiful for some reason.
I have to re-listen
Well,
to it then
me
and see what you're
too.
talking about.
It kind of like raises how I feel about the song, but overall, I feel like it was super repetitive. Nothing innovative, nothing new. Just sounded like a regular, pop rock band song. Yeah. But that ending though. Love
Well, I have my notes for this are from best to worst. What a horse crap song. Best way I can describe it is feminist propaganda.
Yep.
It seems like okay, because it's like oh, if Sheila can do it, or I don't know. He's singing about how great Sheila is and how
Right.
she can do anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, it seems like
I don't see the problem with that.
oh my gosh. But the thing that I gotta say that I actually will give this song some points for, even though it's trash. It seems like Sheila. He does say something about a sister or another or something, I think. So I don't know if Sheila's supposed to be a sister or a friend, but either way, she's somebody that he really looks up to, and he's encouraged by her confidence because she's clearly a very confident person. So when he says his heart's starting to feel watered down, he thinks if Sheila can do it, I can do it. So it's almost like he's taking this inspiration from her, which is kind of nice, but it's still a stupid song. The music is wasted on these lyrics because musically it's not like too bad. It is generic, but it's not too bad. But the lyrics definitely bring it down. And Steven, I would like to now give you full permission to absolutely rip She Needs Me a new one.
And then we're gonna give
Go
good
for
vibes
it. Go unhinged.
I don't feel that passionately about it.
Really? I thought you did.
No, I just don't like it.
That's because you're single.
The core.
I'm joking.
Okay. The song is extremely annoying, both because it's extremely repetitive, and because the whole sentiment of the song is annoying. It's all about how she needs me, and that's why I need her. Like, because you need someone to need you. Like, you're that pathetic that you just feel the need to be needed.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Are you that pathetic to do something because Sheila can?
no. But anyways, like in the very first verse, he says he feels good when he opens a jar of Jif for her. Like, that's where he gets his joy in life. Like, understand, it is a good feeling when you can do something for someone that you love. It's like, okay.
Or
Cool,
someone,
but that's the whole song.
can't.
And it's like, she's mine, all mine. She's mine, all mine.
Okay, yeah.
It's so repetitive and annoying. And like all he's singing about is just being an annoying boyfriend. That's how it feels. However, the instrumental, the solo, is the sickest guitar solo ever. And that's like the one redeeming quality of this song.
It is pretty sick, especially with the cowbell.
It's
Ooh.
it's amazing. And it's like, where did this come from? Out of left field, because the rest of the song is trash. But that one part is like, okay, this like, I don't know, levels the song up. Or just take it out of the song and just have that, and it's like 10 out of 10.
Okay. Kevin?
That's it.
Pretty much what Steve said. Like, I literally just wrote amazing instrumental on the instrumental break. Overall, 6 out of 10. Another song that's not really innovative was really annoying at some point, but you know, average song.
Average song?
Yeah, average song.
Caleb, what do you think?
That's fair to say, but I will say I agree with Steven with the lyrics. It can be repetitive, but I'm glad that you at least gave some credit to the instruments and the music in general. I think you did at least. I love the soft guitar playing at the beginning. It's so warm, just like beginning of the end. And then it picks up. The music is just fun, and the solo is just fantastic.
We can all agree on that, I think.
Yeah.
I think that I like this song less than I did before, but I think I'm about to make you like it more.
Okay.
Yes, I'm for you.
So something I actually just thought of this time listening to it, because I was thinking, you know what, this song isn't that great. Maybe Steven's right, but it is fantastic. But it's okay. I'm kind of all over the place with it, but
Listen to it.
in the bridge, he says, "We all need a reason to live, so don't ever fall for the freedom bit.
Oh my
Free as a
gosh.
bird.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
I flew down that road. Take it from me. It's a horror show." Did you have something to say about that?
I did, but I forgot. But you can continue, and I can say it after.
Okay. So I actually think that the message that he's kind of portray here, even though like what you're saying about being an annoying boyfriend is kind of accurate, I think what he's trying to say here is he's talking about people who are like so against traditional relationships and are either like just content being alone or more into like sleep around culture, the ones who think it's better to not have labels on things so you can have like true freedom to be with whoever you want whenever you want instead of being like tied down by a person. Mm-hmm. So I think that like, because he says don't ever fall for the freedom bit. Free as a bird, he flew down that road. It's a horror show. Like I think he's saying like that it's much better to like have a good woman that you're with instead of like having alleged freedom, which ultimately doesn't really result in happiness if you're kind of getting with everyone. What did you have to say about it?
That does make me possibly like the bridge more. Because the bridge is my absolute least favorite part. It's the part I hate the most. The way you put it, saying it's like referring to sexual freedom, actually puts a spin on it that's like, okay, that makes sense. Because before that, I was just thinking of it in general terms, where he's saying like, just freedom isn't enough. Like, basically, you can't be happy if you're single. You need a reason to live, meaning you need to be in a relationship, because that gives you a reason to live. Which is like, that's a load of BS. Come on, you can be a happy, free, single person, and like, because relationships are constraining in a way. I'm not saying they're bad, but like, you make sacrifices going into a relationship, but that doesn't give you a reason to live. We have plenty of reason to live as single people without a relationship. So it's like, that bridge always gets me like almost angry, because I'm like, this is so retarded, I can't stand this. First he's singing about being the most annoying boyfriend ever, and then he's saying like, this is his reason for living.
I was born to be annoying.
Exactly. So like, all that combined, just like, you know, hatred for the song. But you putting it that way, it does make me think, okay, there's a possibility it's not as bad as I thought.
It goes from like a 2 out of 10 to like a 2.5.
Whoa. I did that.
Wow.
You're welcome, Rivers.
I haven't re-rated it yet. I'll have to, I don't know, think on it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm glad you brought up the bridge, because, yeah. Precious Metal Girl.
Yep. Kevin, what you think?
Oh my god.
What?
This is my new favorite song, dude. This is my new favorite song. This is the best song on the album, in my opinion, by far. Great acoustic guitar, all around. Great lyrics. Great everything. I put heart emojis on the description for it.
That's awesome.
That's how much I love it.
If you agree with him, put heart emojis in the comments.
Put the blue heart emojis in the comment. Apple just dropped that. Yeah. But that's the last song on the album, right? Other than
technically, other than the hidden tracks, yeah.
And I feel like that it's the perfect way to close an album. Like I've never listened to an album that was actually, you know, now that I think about it, this is the best constructed album I've ever listened to.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
That's cool.
like the way everything is just designed and placed is perfect. Because like most albums, they just, you know, record a song, put it on the album, record a song, put it on the album.
And some are flaws and some are really good.
Yeah, but this one is like, you know, it's fun, gets into serious tones for a minute, and then it closes out with the last couple songs we've always just been talking about, you know, being single and relationship and whatever, and then it closes out with a song that's just about love, you know, and beauty. It just reminds me of her, you know. So she doesn't even exist, but it reminds me of her.
Yeah, now you're starting to think like Rivers.
Put me on Weezer list.
Steven?
You guys need a bass player? I'm right here.
I agree with you, Kevin. This song is the best one on the album. It's separate from the rest. It's such a different style. It's like it doesn't even belong on the album, pretty much, because all the other songs have the same feel to them, and this one's different. This one's acoustic. This one's soft and slow and romantic, all the way through. And I do love Weezer's romantic songs. I think they're great. Not all of them, but you know,
Like one more hit.
like like Across the Sea, like Da Vinci.
Oh god.
Okay.
You know, the greats.
Let him talk.
This time listening to it, I'm embarrassed to say this, but this is the first time I realized that he's calling her a precious metal girl, not just a precious metal girl.
Like metal is like literal metal.
Like precious
precious
metals.
metals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he says them in the song. My platinum blonde, my pot of gold, the silver lining. He's
That's
talking
so
about
sweet.
precious metals. And he's saying, you're my precious metal. Oh my goodness.
I thought you were
Why
going to
did I
say
never
that you
realize
felt
before?
embarrassed because you teared up this time listening to it.
No, I did not. I just feel embarrassed that I never realized
Oh.
he's saying precious metal. Because the album's like metal, right?
Yeah.
So at the end he's saying, you're my precious like metal girl.
I always
Okay.
thought it was literal.
And, well, it's both. Because then he says she's got a leather jacket and spandex and talks about the neon lights. So it's like metal, but also precious metal.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's great.
It is.
It hits different when you realize that.
And another
It was
thought
amazing
that I had-
before I realized that. And then it's like, oh, okay. It all ties in.
Yeah.
It's-
Another thought that I had was like, it was like paying an odd to the whole album, and Weezer is basically saying, you know, we're done with this, and this is like our precious metal girl that we will adore,
Or precious
and, like,
metal
you know,
album.
gift to the world.
It is a gift. It's a good gift.
That's
like
how I was
a
looking
father
at it.
giving his daughter away in marriage.
Pretty much.
Rivers
yeah.
gave us this
Rivers
album.
giving us this album.
Rivers gave us this
Thank
album.
you.
Thank you, Rivers.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because you say thank you, Daddy Rivers.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it, but I didn't. Dang it. Caleb, what'd you think?
I will say one of the best as well. It does not compare to the other ones. I mean, the other ones don't compare to this song as much because this one's just so soft. I'm glad that instead of, you know, full on adding instruments, they just used acoustic. It fit the scene well, which they could have taken the other way. I'm glad that they didn't. Its lyrics are pretty good. I really like the lyrics. Warm and soft. Really like the bridge, and it's just a very heartwarming song.
It is. I have written that this song is absolute trash and I hate it. Wait, sorry, that's Sheila Can Do It again.
Yeah.
Okay, this song is really cute and really nice and it warms my heart. Like, really, it just makes my heart 10 degrees warmer. I love this song. I think it's cool, like Caleb saying, that it's just acoustic and vocals. And even where it almost sounds like they're adding in some percussion, it's just hitting the guitar. And so I think that's really nice. And something I noticed on the vinyl I hadn't noticed before was the little acoustic leads added in too. Like there's multiple acoustic guitars. It's not just like one. And they like really added a lot to it and we're really nice. And then this is my other one that I would say is like a tie for first. I think if I really, really think about it, I'd have to say this is the best song on the album, even though I do love One More Hit. It's so good.
It's
would love
hard.
One Way as well.
It's hard because you listen to one and be like, yeah, and the other one you'll be like, yeah. And then you'll keep going back and forth.
So moving on to the secret song, there is 2 hidden tracks at the end. But one's actually a full song that was written in 1993 when they had a guitar player that never even made it onto the album.
Oh, that's
apparently.
why it sucked.
Well. So I'm really hoping that nobody else had the same thoughts about it than me, but I'll go last. I'll give everybody the opportunity to have my theory. Kevin?
It was a good song. Tempo fit perfectly with what they were talking about in the song, and chord progressions were really nice. Other than that, it was an amazing song, and I like the title too. The title, I felt like, really spoke as to what they were talking about thematically, because I didn't really get that with most of the songs in this album, but with this one, it really fit well with the whole theme of the song. So
Okay.
I'll probably give it like a 8 out of 10 if I had to rate it.
Steve?
Not bad.
You didn't even let him finish.
I'm so sorry. I thought you were done.
my
bad.
I was done. Don't listen to this guy.
Just go.
He's here to be different.
It's just a sad song. It's like really generic. Like the lyrics are so unspecific. It just feels like it's sad for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like I feel like I want to, because it sounds sad and the lyrics are sad, it's like I want to kind of feel it, but I don't know how because I can't relate it to anything because it's just like vague. So that's how I felt about it.
Caleb?
I didn't know that they had a Pinkerton song on here. That's my first impressions because it sounds very Pinkerton-y. I think it was, you said 93, so that's just before Blue, isn't it?
Yeah. So they had written it before they
But
released any songs.
I thought it was Pinkerton because it sounded very Pinkerton-y.
It did.
Don't judge me for this, but it's called Throw It All Away, so I'm gonna do that.
The song?
Nope.
Okay, so I
judge
think
me
I'm
for
about to
this.
make you like it more, and the reason why I think you maybe don't like it and is more than just it being vague is because you can't relate. Because this song is not about a relationship. It sounds like he's singing about a girl and they broke up and he's thrown it all away, or maybe he broke up with her and he threw it all away and he regrets it. Nope, this song is about moving out from your parents. This song is about parents 110%. I can almost guarantee it. I feel like I cracked the code here.
I'm looking up the lyrics again.
So yeah, like I think he's talking about, because he's talking about the empty room and everything, and I think he's talking about, you know, like if you move out of your parents' house, then there's that empty room there, and it's like he misses the closeness with his parents. So I think that makes the song a little bit better. It is pretty sad, but it's kind of got like a nice message to it because I feel like it's paying, is the word homage to his parents. So it's kind of nice.
It's a great track to be a bonus track as well. I thought.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Like it's a song because like bonus tracks are usually like super different from the rest of like the whole album, and it goes with this song as well. Like it's nothing like the rest of the songs in it, and I guess it might be because of the, like you said, it's written at a different time, but it being a bonus track gave me more points overall in the rating. If it was part of the main lineup, then maybe a little bit lower. But
That's funny because I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Cool. And then there's just the last little revisit of "I Need Some of That." We'll go this way, Kevin.
We're coming to you.
amazing recap. Brought me back to my favorite song on the album up until we hit the last song. Just I was singing along to it because at that point I knew like the song. I was like, but yeah, it's just a great because it's just like they do the chorus and then a couple lines, right? It's not too long. Like
Yeah.
The main one. Yeah, it's just like a great closer, I guess, for true Weezer fans who will listen to the bonus track as well.
True Weezer fans.
There's
here.
only 4 true Weezer fans in the world. You're looking at
Rivers.
them right now.
Huh?
Said Rivers, Brian.
Scott.
And Aiden. Sorry, Pat, you didn't make the list. What'd you think? Or what do you have to say about it?
I didn't write down anything because I didn't think we were talking about it because it's.
Me either.
Really?
It's. I mean, what is there to say? It's just there. I like that it's there. Like it's a nice little thing to close off the album. It's I kind of like it better than the real song actually. It's just it's done in a style that's like very almost like it was done by the Beach Boys. Where there's I don't know, it's like almost a cappella just with clapping. And then they kind of laugh during it too, which the Beach Boys do sometimes.
Yeah.
Like in Barbara Ann. And I know Weezer's a big fan of the Beach Boys, so or Rivers. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. So I like that part.
Surprised you guys haven't covered this, but who is it that's singing it?
Thank you, Caleb, for asking a very good question.
Is
Because
it-
you can be sure when you hear that, I need some of that, you can tell that is not Rivers Cuomo singing. That is, I'm going to butcher his name, Mike Oseki, I think his name is. He is the lead singer of the band The Cars, who also originally wrote the song You Might Think, which Weezer covered for the movie Cars 2. So Rivers has ties with him, and he actually co-wrote the song I Need Some of That. And what you hear
I
at
think
the
you
end,
told me that.
what you hear at the end is a scrapped verse of him being in the song with them. So it's like that was like a verse that they had, but then they decided not to use.
Good decision, Rivers.
Yeah, because he has kind of a weird voice because he's so old now. But yeah, it definitely suited the end of the album. I thought it was great. So now it's time to just move into our concluding thoughts and album ratings. We go on a scale of 1 to 5. Decimal points welcome, encouraged. Who wants to start us off?
I will.
Cool.
Alright, so, this is Weezer's most metal rock album out there, I'd say. With the most songs that are not kind of similar for the style, that I noticed. And also, this is the album of Weezer with all the solos. Like, every song has a solo, and, like, most of them are really good. And they're really complex in that, so that's really good, great. So I'm gonna go a little bit overboard. I'm gonna give this album a 4.9.9. And if Sheila Can Do It was not on here, it'd be a perfect 5.
Okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Solid.
4.9.9. Wow.
4.9.9, unheard of in WEEZCAST history.
Just wait till the next update. It'll be
Steven?
4.9.9.9. Let's see what I wrote down. I forget.
All right, Kevin.
Wow. Oh, I didn't even write down anything. I just wrote solid album.
All right. I
That-
mean,
that's-
you're right.
I mean,
What's your
what it
rating?
is.
My rating, I also gave it a 4.9.
Really?
Yeah, for a slightly different reason. Like, because, you know, she needs me. So.
How can you not... Why do you, like, back up
fine.
Sheila so much?
I don't back up Sheila. I just say it's fine, and she needs me is just worse.
No, She Needs Me is fine,
All
and
right.
Sheila
All
is
right.
worse.
Anyways, fine, it's a 4.8.
No.
What have you done? What have you done?
Okay. Okay, you could say what you want.
This is the moment I've been waiting for. Kevin, what's your rating? What are your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts, great. I've been say, I feel like this is the only thing I've been saying about this album, but great construction, great themes in it. What else did I like? Instrumentals, the solos were really nice. Vocals, amazing. Like that song that I hated up until the end. Beautiful, best vocals in the whole album. What else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's just a really great, organized album. Even like the going from the summer type songs into more grunge, classic rock band inspired songs, and then ending it with songs based on love. I think that was that's like the best thing about the album, and yeah. So like overall rating, I would say I would give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Cool.
Only because the love songs brought it down, because like most of them were pretty corny up until the last one, which was really
good.
the best Weezer song out there,
Cool.
in my opinion. Don't attack me, guys.
So far. Okay, it's honestly a great album other than Sheila Can Do It. Great classic Weezer summer vibes. And like really, even the songs on it that aren't that good, other than Sheila Can Do It, even the ones that have a bit more genericness to them, they're pretty solid. So, they all have something to appreciate about them. Album rating, 4.6 out of 5.
Solid.
Wow.
And the more you listen to it, the more you appreciate it.
So, thank you everybody for watching this episode of WEEZCAST. That's it. The end.
Okay, human.